scenario. Ayo, Bo no six, and Bo no fat, but Bo no chat. Cause Bo can't rap. First up the back, no batteries included, and no strings attached. No holds barred. No time for move faking. Got to get the loot so I can bring home the bacon. They say the drop can't float, but we've been known to do the impossible like Broadway Joe. So sleep if you want, like who will help you get your Z's true.
What's going on, guys? This is Matt Marinoff, Real Estate Recovery Group, and I'm coming to you live with Erica Perez.
Good day, y'all.
Hey! I'm actually excited to have Erica on. I've never actually met Erica face-to-face. Huge fan, following you forever. And I think the information that you put out there and what you do and how you supply the information with people, I think is pretty amazing. You are 100%, I would say the epitome of what a real estate agent should be. You're not only a real estate agent, but you're also a broker as well. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. So you're a double threat. Soon to be a triple threat. As far as what you've been doing over the last couple of years, you weren't always in real estate. Today we're going to talk about a little bit about your struggles and how you became who you are as a person. I think it'll be tremendously inspirational for people out there that maybe they're in a dead-end job, maybe they're looking for the next messiah or whatever it is. Just something to to jump, maybe get a little bit of a change, a little flavor, different flavor as far as making money and trying to help people. So our industry that we're in obviously is driven by customer service. And as you know, in our industry, for the listeners, that is not always the case with the people, unfortunately, that we work with on a daily basis. And because of that, I think it's amazing to be able to, have somebody of stature like Erica to come on here and actually talk a little bit about her services, what she does, and how she services her clients and the struggle. So let's go back. Let's talk about young Erica. Let's talk about Erica at 15 years old. What was Erica like?
A rebel. I was a 15-year-old rebel. I grew up in Newark, the East Side. I went to East Side High School. When DOS Effect, as you were just playing, and all that was coming up. So at 15, I was trying to find myself and trying to fit in, right? So 15-year-old girl, I was a rebel. I was definitely a rebel.
All right, so we'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
So now you're 17 years old. What was 17-year-old Erica like?
Wow, that was life-changing for me. For some crazy reason, during those times, a lot of teenage pregnancy was going on, and I fell into the category. At the age of 17, I had my first daughter, which is now 26 years old. So it was from rebellious 15-year-old to, oh no, I am now a mom. So I had a little doll, and I had to figure out how quickly I was about to become, or have to be forced to become, a parent at such a young age. At 17 years old, my kids are traveling, going to school, preparing for college, and I was changing diapers and going to the library and getting VHS tapes on how to change a diaper because I had no idea.
So did you have a mom figure in your life? Did you have a role model?
I did. My mother was a very strong Puerto Rican independent woman. So she was actually working a lot. She worked 6 days a week. So she wasn't really home. She was out working, providing. She was also a single mom. So at that age, it was just me and a little baby and trying to figure out, what am I going to do now?
So what was the relationship like between you and your mom? And then how did she react when you told her you were pregnant?
She was very upset. My mom was, like I said, a very strong, independent Puerto Rican woman. I had a 4-year college scholarship that was awaiting for me to become. I wanted to be a heart surgeon, first a nurse, and then I decided I want to be a heart surgeon. So, it was when she found out, she was very upset because college was where I was going. I always wanted to be a nurse, so I played nurse all my life. So she really was very, very devastated because she felt like she worked so hard to provide so that I would never have to struggle. And here I was, all my dreams and everything that she had for me Everything just changed. When she found out I was pregnant, she was very devastated. She was.
So you actually had a scholarship to go to school?
Yes, I had a 4-year college scholarship.
Full ride?
Full ride.
Any regrets?
I wish I would have did the 4 years. But I mean, that was not in my calling. This is where I guess I was supposed to be. I kind of regret not taking full advantage and trying to make it really work at that time. I was so trying to figure out how to be a mom that I wasn't really focused on school. So for me, school was impossible. It was like, how do I finish high school and then go to college and have a baby and still try to learn how to find myself in socializing and all that, craziness. So I think the only thing I kind of regretted was not really taking advantage of the 4-year scholarship. I did go 2 years to college and it was just too much. I couldn't handle. By my second year of college, I had a second child. So that was impossible.
Okay. So what was the age difference between the first child and the second child?
2 years.
So
I was 19.
So you're 19 years old. You have your second child.
Yep.
Now you're actually enrolled in college.
Yes.
What'd you go to college for?
Nursing.
You actually did go to school for nursing.
I started my nursing career. Yeah, I started my nursing. Yeah.
Did you get a scholarship?
For the nursing program, I actually did 2 years. At 19, I was already living on my own. I moved out of my house when I was about almost 18. My mom said, hey, these are the rules. These are the options. You take it or leave it. And I said, I'm leaving it. I moved out. So at 19, I had the 2 kids. I was in college. I did 2 years of college for nursing, but it was too much. I was working a full-time job. I was working at a dental office as a dental assistant, and I had 2 babies to provide for, living on my own. So after 2 years, I couldn't wing it. It was too expensive to pay for childcare for 2 children. I was already working, 6 days. So it was just crazy. I couldn't finish school.
Okay, so let's back up. You're in college. You're working full-time. You're on your own.
Yes.
When you say on your own, were you literally on your own? Were you by yourself?
Literally on my own. It was just, I had 2 babies. I was by myself. My mother was a working parent. She lived far from me. So it was just babysitters, myself, and, and God, because it was tough. Being 19 years old with 2 kids, getting up in the morning, getting them ready, getting to, work. Luckily, I worked at a practice where my stepfather was one of the owners. So I got to work almost every single day late, but I made it.
So you worked so your stepdad was a dentist?
Yes, there was a practice. There were 3 different owners, 3 different doctors. So that's where I was working.
What was it? Goldberg, Goldstein, and Galuber?
No, it was called Dental Arts Associates. We were in Elizabeth by where the motor vehicle is.
Got you. Okay. So how many years were you doing dental hygiene as a dental hygienist?
I did go to school for a little bit of everything. So from the age of 17 to 33 was when I went real estate full time.
Wait, from what age?
From 17 to 33.
You went full time for what?
I went at the age of 33, then I transferred over to real estate full time.
So at 33 years old, you basically started a new career.
I've had a few different careers through the years. I went to school for different things, which, like I was telling you when we spoke, I hated school as a teenager. And once I had my children, I found a new passion. So during the years, I became a dental x-ray tech. Then I became a certified dental assistant. Then I became an expanded function assistant, which I could do everything a hygienist almost can do. Then I went to school and became a massage therapist, which was crazy because I wanted to, it was between real estate and massage therapy. I love the medical field because I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to stay in the field. So I went to school became a massage therapist. I wanted to work with elderly people and children with autism and different conditions. But massage therapy was not for me. I opened up my own business. That was my side business. I had a massage therapy business where I dealt with patients. The doctors would refer me, but it wasn't for me.
What was it about it that didn't like you? You said the patients were older, right?
Yes. Well, I had.
So you could really never build a clientele list because they were always dying.
No. I had a little bit of everything. I had all kinds of patients and clients, but that's what it was. Massage therapy has a very hit or miss, right? There was a lot of people that called it masseuse for bad things. So I found myself, having, men coming for massage, and they weren't looking for massage. And I said, wait a minute,
Puggy.
this is not for me. This is not.
Well,
But
that's how you met isn't that how you met your fiance?
no, actually, I met him through real estate. Don't
only
say that.
I'm
No,
always kidding.
I hated it. I mean, a lot of my when I was doing massage therapy, a lot of my clients, believe it or not, were doctors, were attorneys. Remember, I worked in the medical field, so a lot of patients worked at the city. I did a lot of marketing at the city hall and different areas like that. But it was a lot of work.
They were expecting extra services.
They were expecting extra services, and that's not the field that I was in.
Right.
Right.
You're like, don't even talk to me unless you got a Hamilton. I got it. I hear you.
Yeah. So that went out the door pretty quick. I gave that up after maybe 2-3 years.
Got it. Okay, so now you're not doing that anymore. So you get into real estate.
Yes.
Well, let's back up. So you worked actually, because you told me a story, and this is important. You want to talk about somebody who's a go-getter. You want to talk about somebody who doesn't understand the word no.
Yeah.
I always joke around, it's not unless you get a restraining order, but you legit took your kids to work with you.
Oh, yeah. So when now I have, at the age of 25, I have 3 children. So, how do you afford to pay for all these expenses? I didn't have help from the government. I didn't have, all the services that some people are lucky enough to get. So I would I would take my lunch break at 3:00. My kids went to 3 different schools. Sometimes my stepfather would help me run around like a crazy person, bring my children home, bring my kids home, and take them to my dental office. I would sit them in the waiting area with their homework and their Wendy's. There was a Wendy's by the school, and I would go to work until I was done, sometimes 7-8 o'clock at night. And they would sit there like troopers. They would sit there, do their work. We had a little TV. I would bring one to the back if they were fighting. But for the most part, that was us. I would pick them up after school, drop them off at the waiting area. They would sit with my patients, they loved me. So they would even help the kids with their homework. And that's where they would eat their little Wendy's until I was done working.
So you really are one of those rags to riches success story as far as, really coming from nothing. Or just, obviously, like, I can't relate to what you went through as far as that type of struggle. I can relate on the school side of it because I thought D was for diploma, but I get what you're saying as far as the actual struggle. I did not have children at a young age. So, when somebody says to me, Matt, you don't realize as a real estate agent how hard it is. I hear a lot of stories from a lot of different people. And what they're saying, what they say is hard, and what you were actually talking about, you really are, in my opinion, like you are the epitome of an actual, real, true real estate agent that understands the stress of finding a house, working between jobs, juggling children. So what was it like? And what was the pivotal moment in your life when you said, you know what? I'm going to try real estate.
So, growing up, I was always believed that when someone said you can't do it, I could do it. There's no way that I can't do it. I'm alive. I can do it. And with the kids, it was like I found them. I was running here, running there, going back and forth. And I started to say, well, what else can I do? So with the real estate, I actually was marketing. I was trying to market to a gentleman that did mortgages. And I said, oh, I have my own business. I do massage therapy. And he looked at me and said, no. You're not. You need to come and do mortgages. You would be great for sales. You have the skills. You have the ability. I was always looking for a way to better myself. I had already gone to school. I was already getting paid max that I could, working as an office manager, running a team of 3 doctors and a whole bunch of assistants. So I said,
how old were you then?
Oh, I was late 20s, maybe 28, 29.
Okay.
And I never forget, I met him in a Dunkin' Donuts. That day, a friend of mine had just started working real estate in Coldwell Banker, Liberty, where I'm at now. And I went with her. She had to pick up papers to sign because she was signing on to be part of the company. And the broker was there. I speak to anybody. I'm everybody's friend. And I said, hey, got a second? So listen, I have a question for you. I'm a single mom. I have 3 kids. I'm thinking about doing mortgages. If I do mortgages, will you refer me clients? I'm speaking to the broker that just opened this company. And he said to me, no. And I said, what do you mean no? He said, no, because you're not a mortgage rep. You're a real estate agent. He said, if I send you to school, when you bring me your license, this was late October, and he said, you bring me your license before the year's up, I'll pay for your schooling. And I said, all right, sign me up. He signed me up late October. And all I kept thinking about was, hey, if I can get this real estate thing down packed, then I can be more of a hands-on mom. I know a lot of real estate agents say it's impossible. It was so much easier that way because I kept thinking, if I work for myself, I make my schedule, I can actually find a way to make real estate work for my kids, then my kids work for me. So he sent me to school. He signed me up. He gave me all the paperwork. I signed up. I think I took the course in 6 weeks. I think it was 4 weekends. My kids will tell you, I was falling asleep in the table. I would finish with them. It was 9:30 at night to study till 1 o'clock in the morning, to get back up at 6 to keep the routine going. And I was determined to pass my test on the first go because there was no time to waste. And all I kept thinking about was having the financial availability of, I'm going to get choked up.
Okay.
Not being concerned with my light getting cut off, my gas getting cut off, or having to move because we had some bad months or I had extra expenses sometimes and I would have to remove my children. There was times we would come home and the gas was cut off, and I would always make it fun for them. So if you ask my children, they'll tell you they enjoyed the days that we had hardships because I would make the best of it. So all I kept thinking about was, if I can do this real estate thing, this will be a financial relief for me because I'd be able to really buy them the things that they wanted, not just needed. And I could be home and I wouldn't have to really concern myself with, them going through the struggle or really feeling it as much. Now that they're grown, they say they really didn't. So I was determined to change my life for them. I wanted my kids to have so much more. I used to take them to the park because it was free. I would take them to the pier because it was free. But I wanted to take them to like great adventures and not be hurt, and take them to places that other kids were going that, I couldn't really take them to. So I set my mind to it. The end of November, I had my test and I passed it on the first go. I remember I came home and I told the kids, guys, get ready because our life's about to change. And they're looking at me like, well, what does that mean? And I'm like, it means that mom is going to find a way to include you more in my life and be more active in yours without you sitting in the waiting room from 3 o'clock to 8 o'clock at night with patients working for you. And my kids were super proud of me. My kids, everything that I accomplished, it was us. They would help me study. I would give them flashcards and they would, help me take tests. So when I passed my real estate exam, we passed it as a whole. My kids were a part of it. They were really good troopers. And I just kept telling them, be patient with mom because I promise you that our lives are going to change. And I set off. I started real estate part-time. I still kept my full-time job, but I told the kids, be patient with me. It's just going to take me some time to master one craft so that I can let go of the other. So then that was our lives. We would run in to the dental office, grab them, run to the real estate office, change my clothes, put on heels, show a house, come. So now my kids are everywhere. And they're like, wait a minute, mom, how does this benefit us? Now we're really all over the place. But I was determined. I knew that if I was consistent, if I was disciplined, if I wanted it bad enough, and I just would follow my real estate gurus, the people that were doing really well, that my life and their life, more importantly, would change. And that was all I had, set in mind.
So, you got into real estate. Do you remember what it was like to get your first check? And do you remember how much you made?
Absolutely. So remember, I work in a dental office. In the dental office, I was selling dental cases. That was my thing. I would take x-rays and say, hey, what do you think about fixing your teeth? I had connected with a company called Care Credit. So my deal with my bosses were, listen, guys, I'll sell you the cases. I will triple your income, but I got to get paid commission every time I close on a case. Done. So I remember I would get on the phone and call all the clients that got approved for these care credit cases to fix their teeth. They got good credit. They got income. They'll qualify to buy a house. So before I even actually had a physical license, I already had a listing.
That's fucking genius.
I had a listing from a lady that was getting all her teeth done, was getting divorced, and said, I need to sell my house. I need out of here. And I said, hey, I'm a real estate agent. I work with a team of great people. I'm going to list your house. I don't have my license yet. My broker has been in business, and I sold him. And so by the time I got my real estate physical license, I was already under contract. I closed 3 weeks after having my license, and my check was about $8,500. That was my first real estate, and I'll never forget it. I grabbed the check, got my ID, grabbed my 3 little chickens, and I said, we're going to the bank. And what I actually did was I cashed it all out, right? How ghetto. I cashed it out. I had my kids with me, right?
Did you roll around in the bed?
Oh, no. I didn't want them to lose $1. So I had them count it with me. I think I was trying to show them that if you set your mind to something and you believe it, you can do it. And I remember giving each and every one of them money according to their age so that they can go to Toys R Us, which we don't have any longer, to buy whatever they wanted. And the kids were in heaven. I mean, it was like, I remember I went into their closet and I took all their clothes out and I threw it out. And I said, everybody's going to get a new wardrobe, new pajamas, new beds. Like that whole check went completely to just, and the kids were like, what is going on here? Now they were really better. They were good troopers when I said, mommy's got to show a house. You got to stay in the car. Oh, we got this, mom. If you close, we close. If I close, you close. And that was just the beginning of my real estate career. And I actually loved it. I loved everything about it. It was crazy. I found something that, I wasn't in the medical field, but I found something that I was helping people. I found something that I had a passion for. There were a lot of obstacles that in real estate, as we all know, happens during a transaction, but every problem has a solution. And I'm good at, figuring out how to get overcoming the problem. So I just found this crazy passion. Granted, the first check was a listing, so it wasn't as much, but then my next client was a buyer, a first-time home buyer. And for me, it was like, wow, just to see their children and them, how happy they were to start this new journey in their life. And that for me, that was it. That set it off. That was just my main focus now was just real estate. And I was in a position where the office that I was working for said, hey, Erica, as long as the team is working, you're making my money and my production is going up, you can do real estate while you're working for us. I had my own office. Perfect. I had a team of girls working. I had my front desk. I did the medical billing. As long as the money was coming in and their business wasn't being affected, they allowed me to get on the phone, make calls, leave to show houses and come back.
During the day?
Yes.
That's sexy as hell.
Yes. So I would leave in scrubs, run to the office, put on the heels, walk out the back door, come back in, put my scrubs back on and go back to work.
So here's how I see the cover of your book. I see one half scrubs, and then in the middle, I see you have just regular plain clothes on. And was that?
I said Timberland boots.
all right, with jeans, with ripped jeans, and then on the other side, Superman outfit on, Superwoman.
Thank you. That's what it felt like.
I mean, listen, that's amazing. And, you laugh about it. Obviously, you started super young having kids. You told me a story the other day about your son, and he told you something that you didn't even really know. Do you remember the story you told me?
Never forget it. So, you get caught up in all these different things and everything. Your life is changing and you're making money and you're doing all this. That I forgot my main focus on. I came home one day and I said, to my youngest, my Elijah, I said, I closed another deal. I'm killing it. I'm like selling agent of the month. And he said, Mom, what good is all that money? But we don't have a mom right now. that's when I said, I have to make a decision. I cannot work 2 jobs and be a single mom and take care of these kids, because when he said that to me, it was like I couldn't even swallow. I wanted to cry. I was so upset. I was disappointed. And the first thing was, all right, I got to stop doing real estate because you're on the road all the time. And I had to figure out a way. How can I? Now my kids are like, oh, great, we're living this great life. You know, mom's giving us all this greatness. But he would talk to me and I would be there. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, sure. Yes, you can. I lost my kids in the mall because of that one time. I wasn't paying attention to them. And I said they can go to a store. I never heard it. Yes. Yes. So when he said to me, Mom, you know, what good is all this money if we don't have a mom? I said, oh, shit. All they have is me. What am I going to do here? So now he put me up against the wall because I knew that my children was so much more important than working all these crazy hours, because one day they were going to grow up and I was going to miss out. So that was when I decided to say, okay, Erica, time out. Real estate does take a lot of hours, but you make your own schedule.
Mm-hmm.
I need to make a decision. Am I going to stay working in a dental office where I've already maxed out? There's nowhere else to go, or am I going to do what I love, which was real estate, and remember that I am a mother before anything, before Superwoman, before Erica, before, you know, a real estate broker, before a friend. I am a mom, and these children are looking at me and saying, hey, all right, we got all these great things and we're living it up and we're going on vacations, but where are you? Where are you? You're physically here, but not here. And that was my decision to say, wait, money or my children? My children all day. I've lived for my kids. I've breathed for my kids. They have always been my motivation in the mornings, looking at their little faces and, you know, rooting me on. They were always my biggest cheerleaders, right? I can't say that about my boys, but they were always so like for me. And I was failing them at one point in my career because I had so much going on that I was all over the place, not realizing that there were 3 little kids that needed a mommy, not just a provider. So that I made the decision to say, you know what? I'm going to take a leap in faith. If the real estate doesn't work for me, I'll go back to work at the dental office. I can go anywhere. I worked at the hospital for some time, or I'll find another career and go back to school and do something else. But I had to make a decision. So I decided that I said within 30 days.
30 days?
I gave myself a 30-day. I had to. I was so
window in real estate.
I had 30 days to make a decision to quit my job and go into real estate full time and give my kids a.
Oh, okay. I thought about 30 days to get your first deal, but go ahead.
No. So I had a building under contract on Elizabeth Avenue. That was big for me, right? Again, I had a 10-unit building. I'm like, you know what? This is it. I went to work and I told the doctors, I said, I'm giving you my 2-week notice.
They flipped out.
They said, what? I said, I cannot be a mom and have 2 jobs. I can't be a mom and be a real estate agent. I'm not even good enough for you guys at this point because I'm everywhere. And they were telling me, are you crazy? The market crashed in 2006. That's when I hit the real estate industry. It was perfect for me. There weren't so many realtors. I didn't know what realtors were making before the market crashed, so it didn't matter to me. $2,000 on a closing was better than, you know, working all month for that. So everybody said, Erica, you're insane. This is not the time to do this. The market just crashed. It's hit rock bottom. And I said, no, it is. If I master the market in its worst, when it gets great, can you imagine the fire that I can put out for my clients and the service that I can give them? If I can deal with a short sale, I did 1 year, I closed 32 short sales.
Okay. So you started full time 2016.
I started full time. No, in 20. I think it was 2012, 2013. I started the industry in 2006 when the market crashed.
Okay, but you went full time.
Yeah, I went full time in about 2012, I think, around there. Yeah, around 2012, I said, okay, I made the decision, and I said, all right, guys. So now,
I got to back up. Hold on, I got to back up because I ask this question all the time with people. I want to see how you ask it. I want to see how you answer it. You ready?
Yes.
So when people ask you and you're real estate, they say you part-time or full-time agent?
Do people ask me?
when you started in the industry?
I never said any of that. I just said I was a real estate agent.
You never said I was part-time, nothing, whatever.
Not at all.
Okay, so the reason why I say that is because you have an entrepreneur mindset. And the reason why I say that, and I recognize that, and I talk about this with my coaching clients, is that your mindset is everything. And the fact that you went against the odds in 2012 and said, fuck it, this is what I'm going to do full time, that takes a big set of balls to realize that you could kill it, that you could crush it. You just said you did 32 short sales in 1 year, correct?
Yes.
That says a lot about your personality. That also says a lot about, believe it or not, your self-esteem, your self-worth. I don't think you realize, or maybe you don't give it, because most people, when they're in the ether of it, they don't give themselves enough credit. I'm giving you all the credit in the world because I think a lesser person would have crumbled at kid number 2 and would have been just a statistic and wouldn't have gone anywhere. So, huge props to what you did. Keep going.
Well, going back to what you just said, I went to Catholic school and I had a teacher tell me, Erica, he used to call me Boca. He said, you're never really going to amount to much with that mouth of yours. And I said, I promise you that one day you're going to see me and I'll be your boss. Of course, I was a smart ass. And truth be told, about 7 years ago, my nephew had a problem in school. And when my best friend, she passed away, but when she told me the name of the teacher, I said, no way. That was the teacher that told me I was never going to be shit. I'm coming to school with you.
You rolled up in the Benz, you had your Rolex on.
I had a white Mercedes Benz. I rolled up there like, here I come. And I told him, this mouth of mine got me really far because I've always voiced my opinion and followed what I believed in. And he was happy for me, to be honest. He was really happy, to see me. And I said, well, hey, if you want to buy a house, I'm your girl. I'm your girl.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, as a single parent, look, it's not easy. I made it sound easy, but I have to tell you the hardest, I wasn't afraid to take a leap in faith in 2012 because I already had been through the hardest days of my life. I knew what it was like, when I say struggle, I struggled. I knew what it was like. And my family will tell you, everywhere I went, I had my 3 little chickens with me and, always had them as best as I could on point. And I would go to people's houses and be like, oh shit, Erica's getting here with her kids. My kids I let them be children, right? So to take a step in faith, all I kept saying was, I've already failed millions of times. I'm not going to say once, Matt. I'm not going to say twice. So many times I failed. I tried so many different things that never worked for me. Obviously, there were so many things that I did that didn't go the right way, but I made the best out of it. So when it was time to take a step in faith, it was that I said, God, I'm going to put you first and we're going to do this.
I don't know if you can see that enough, but that's on my wall. It says what most people think, and basically it's succeed or fail. And then what successful people think. And it's a shitload of failure until you get to success.
And that's okay because you're learning as you're going, right? I think that the more I failed, the stronger I became and the more knowledge I knew. Like I said, like being a single mom, you think, oh my God, I'm doomed. My life is doomed. It doesn't have to be. You can make a decision and say, hey, you can't be a victim all your life. We make decisions. Those were my consequences for being irresponsible or making bad decisions or that was my fate. But I knew that I could do it because, my grandmother was a big part of my life and she would always tell me in Spanish, I got to see how I translate in English. She would always, basically it was a saying stating, God is with you, then who is against you? You got this. You can do it. Don't ever let nothing stand in your way. And that was my biggest pet peeve, to always think that no matter how bad my life could have been, and no matter how bad of a situation I was in, I always think it could be worse. I remember driving a hoopty and I would look at girls in like nice cars and say, shit, that's going to be me one day. And I would drive my hoopty like it was a Lamborghini. You couldn't tell me different. I would rock a fake purse like it was real because it didn't matter to me. It didn't make me who I was. I'm not a materialistic person, So, like I know there's a lot of people out there that even this whole thing with the pandemic, man, at first I caught myself folding and I'm like, oh shit, this is terrible. I don't want to die. I don't want to go out there. And then I started falling into this little rut like, oh my God, my business went to shits. all my deals are where the contract died. You know, my clients don't want to buy. They're not working, all this shit. And I found myself falling a little bit into victim mode. I said, wait a minute. I've been through hell and back many, 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 many times. And
Victoria's right. He said it's all about building the team.
Well, Matthew, I have to say, I love Matt, right? Matt also was a part of my growth along the way. I sat down with Matt one time at a restaurant. I wrote on a napkin. He's like, what do you want to do now with your life? How are you going to make this bigger? You know, what are you going to do? And I said, I don't know, I'll build a team. He said, all right. We started brainstorming.
You and Matt Victoria?
Me and Matthew Victoria.
That is too funny. He's a cool guy.
I still have the paper in my notebook. And when I tell you that was years ago, it's a scrap piece of paper. If it's next to me, I can grab it and show you.
Sometimes those are the best game plans.
Let me tell you, I started to work on some of the stuff that he was telling me to do. And I started to build a team. I got a team of girls. And the team was not just for me, but it was to help them grow because I had people help me along the way. I got to say my broker of the company for Coldwell Banker Liberty was definitely amazing. He would push me. Girl, come on. You close 1, close 4. You got 4, close 5. His wife became my financial advisor. She was always, let me see your business plan. Let me see what you got going. I didn't know what a business plan was. I didn't even have a plan for my own life, you know? And then she said, well, we got to make a life plan and a business plan. What are we doing here? So I got to say that along the way, I had a lot of great role models and people that I admired, that I looked up to. And, you know, I learned, I would watch them work and I would say, I can do this. I got this. Truthfully, truth be told, man, I think that through so much shit that I went through, I felt untouchable. I felt like no matter if I fell, I got up. If I was bleeding, I would just scuff, you know, clean myself off and keep going because I couldn't become a victim and stay there for all my life. That's not what I wanted for myself.
You can't see it.
I see it.
Huge Rocky fan. Doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down. It really matters how many times you get back up.
And how hard you are when you get up.
You know, it's funny. You know, you and I had our first real conversation, I'm going to say about a week and a half ago. And I hung up the phone. And I'm like, she's going to be a friend for life. Because you and I are on the same page. And I love the fact that you are so, you know, people before the profit. Let's talk about the short sales. Let's talk about the people that you were dealing with, the homeowners. What was it like talking with somebody who literally life was going down on a 747 and 100% was going to crash? What advice were you giving these people?
So, you know, you have to definitely be empathetic, right? And optimistic to help people in that situation. I would genuinely help them, not to take advantage of them. If there was a way that they could save their home at, I would go that route with them. I wouldn't sell them on the short sale. And I had a realtor tell me, you're never going to be a millionaire this way. And I said, I don't give a shit. I sleep well at night, knowing that I did the right thing for these people. You know, there were people that would come, they could really save their home and they could do a loan modification, but they didn't know that. And they would say, I'm going to sell my house in a short sale because, you know, we haven't paid it in 2 years. Let's do a loan mod. Let's try to get you back on board. Are you working? What are we doing? So when I would have someone that was in that position, I would always tell them my story. You had it once, you can do it again. You know, within a couple of years, you could purchase again. You don't have to settle. This is temporary. Find it to be a temporary fix to a problem that you can't fix. They had bought houses way before I got in the business, and they were paying 9% interest, 12 on the second, 100% financing. I had one guy that bought a house for $585,000. He made $23,000 a year. And the realtor told him, yes, I like that. No bullshit, man. And the realtor told him, you can rent out every room in your house. Guess what? Renting every room of the house. Okay, how can you afford that mortgage if you can't? Right? So, you know, it was bad because now the wife wanted to, it was just a disaster. They were having, once they have a financial hardship and they're doing the short sales, I find that families, husbands and wives start to have problems. And I would always tell them, this is your time to stick together.
And what did you feel like when you were talking to these people? a therapist.
I felt, yeah, I'm still there. I feel like when I have people sit in my office, sometimes I'm a therapist, sometimes I'm a mom, sometimes I'm a preacher. Sometimes they'll ask me to pray for them, and I'm like, okay, shit, let's do it, whatever. But you got to be heartfelt. You got to say, okay, we're going to work through the short sale process. If I can help you get, I would try to help them get money back for moving expenses, anything that I could do to service them to make the transaction smooth. And in the middle, I was the referee. I was the counselor. I was the therapist, whether it be family therapy, the children, their husbands. It could get a little intense, and I can get a little personal. If you cry, I'm crying with you. That's just who I am. I'm a crybaby anyway by nature, believe it or not. I'm hard-skinned, but I'm also very an emotional person. And because I know what it's like to struggle, and I know what it's like to work hard for what you have, I always wanted to do the best for my client first. I would always say, I don't care if I'm not going to become a millionaire, because I'm not just selling everybody's house as a short sale because that's the business I'm in. But my business is more of service. You're going to get the business. You do the right thing. People will refer you clients. People trust you, and for me, trust is super important. Honesty, So with short sales, it's just like foreclosure. When people try to go in maybe through foreclosure, there's a lot of emotions involved, a lot of uncertainty. How long do I have to leave? I would, try to make negotiations with the investors and say, well, you can buy the short sale, but they need X amount of time to live there to find a place without paying rent. You want the house? Those are the deals. I work for my clients, right? It's about doing the right thing. And I think that because I went through so much, I know what hardship is like firsthand. So if I could help them in any way, that was just my goal, was to help them.
So you're full-time, you're doing short sales, 2012. Was that your first year that you did the 32?
No, I started doing short sales in 2007.
Well, you said 1 year you did actually 32 short sales.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what year it was. It did take me a whole year to put those 32 on the contract and another year to close them. I didn't say that part, did I?
Okay, I got you.
The short sales back then was something so fairly new that they weren't moving. Once the system kicked in, then these banks were with it. But in the beginning, no one knew. We didn't know what paperwork I didn't know what paperwork to collect, what was needed. The bank would ask for this, they would ask for that, then those papers were outdated. So a lot of those short sales were short sales that I had, we're working on for honestly about a year. It wasn't like
you just hit on a really key point. So short sales were new. So short sales have been around for a really long time. And I talk with people in the industry that have been doing it. I've been doing it 15 years, 25, 30 years. And they're like, Matt, you don't realize, and I know you're going to appreciate this. You have a gift. You are able to be the go-between, and there's a lot of people involved. They used to be called short pays, not short sales, believe it or not.
Really?
Yep. And it was so goddamn short that they were getting these things done in a week. Well, I got news for you. They switched it to a short sale, and ain't nothing wrong. There ain't nothing about a short sale that's short about it.
No.
You may call it short long sale or long short sale, whatever you want to call it. But being in the industry and understanding this, having my team around me and allowing me to be the face of my company, you got to understand, I was, without a doubt, a freaking control freak. What is that? I'm a realtor, what?
Oh, I'm a realtor. Ask me for my card.
You're too funny. I'm a control freak. So it was very hard for me to let go of the reins, to actually be on the phones every single day with the processing of the paperwork. And I did it for many years by myself, but I knew that I could never grow my company and help as many people as I want if I didn't take a step back and then try to help, other people come on my team and be able to move forward. And there's no secret. I tell people all the time, the employees that work with me, they don't work for me. Although they do, they work with me, which is huge when you have a team.
Absolutely.
They're ex-bank employees. So they understand the bank side. They know how the banks think. And that was the whole purpose of me 5 years ago going, with the Nationwide, because there's so many people out there that forgot about short sales.
Yep.
There's no money in short sales. You can't make any money in short sales. Listen, I live in Bergen County, New Jersey, and I have a pretty nice house. I'll leave it at that. My kids want from nothing, and it's a pain in the ass to pay Bergen County taxes and everything like that.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm doing it. So do I want to do it forever? No. I would love to just like say goodbye to New Jersey and go somewhere else at a slower pace and still do what I'm doing, because my company is so completely virtual that when people are like, oh my God, COVID-19, I can't go to work. I talk to people that are so successful, they cannot work in their house. They cannot find a rhythm or a path to not be distracted with everything around them. I left brick and mortar because I didn't want the expense for it. And I wanted to have the flexibility that if I wanted to hire somebody, think about how freaking smart this is. If I wanted to have the flexibility to hire somebody, I didn't give a shit what state they were in. If they were good at what they did, they were on my team. They got a laptop, they got a cell phone, they got a printer. If they needed a desktop, whatever. It's all about accessibility and teamwork, and be able to make people understand really how the process works. So being able to have you come on here and you give me your input from your inside, you're a force, I would say, to be reckoned with in the industry. COVID-19 paralyzed 6 transactions that we were supposed to close. Literally fell apart. And everybody's always like on, I love it like on social media, because social media is always, they always show like from here up.
Right.
I'm awesome. I'm a savage. But they never talk about, and it's success, but they never talk about the shit that's below that line. So here I'm telling you, I have a very successful business. We had 6 deals, literally, big as shit, because of COVID-19. When missing, a buyer actually died. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff. People, maybe the hard money lender didn't come through with the loans. So there's a couple of different things, but we got backup buyers.
Keep going.
There are buyers out there. Let's talk about real estate right now. What is going on? And what's today's date? The 5th?
Yeah, it's today. I didn't even know if it was Monday, Tuesday.
I don't even know what fucking day it is. But what's going on right now in the market? What is going on for Erica Perez and her team?
Well, for what it's crazy. I usually around this time have a lot of deals under contract. We'll leave it at that. A lot of the deals that I had under contract died, whether because they weren't working, whether because the seller backed out. Right? I'm sorry. Let me move my dog out of this room. He's like snoring up a storm.
That's awesome.
He's a tank of a dog. He's huge. Could you stop? So a lot of deals fell apart. That's why I said I was kind of finding myself getting a little crazy. For a person that's used to doing multiple deals at a time, even for my team, I found that a lot of buyers backed out because everybody's saying, oh shit, the economy's going to crash. We're going to go through a recession. Don't buy now. The prices are going to go down. Right. I had sellers that said, hey, I'm backing out of the deal. We did the inspection. I don't want to do the work, but the truth is that I don't want to sell the house. We're not going to buy because the market's going to crash. Everybody's saying all these different things. So it's a little different. It's a little crazy. It's not what it used to be. Right. But we're not going to have that normal life for a while. It's going to be a new norm. Right. Our life changed. So my thing to my clients, I have a few clients that are still looking to buy. My thing to them is the right time to buy is when you're ready. You're ready, do it. When you buy a house, you don't know what the market's going to be like later on. You don't know what's coming. You have a job. I have a client that's a teacher. Her job is not going anywhere. Her husband works for the state. His job is not going anywhere. And I say, listen, you want to buy now. What do you want to wait for? The market to crash? You don't know what's coming. If you're ready to buy, you buy when you're ready. When are you ready? It's like having a child. When are you really ready to have a kid?
You're never ready.
It happens and you make it work and you figure it out, right?
You did.
Yes. And so the market is a little different. I had to really I already had my whole business set up. I had my calendar, how my day started, how it finished, what days I was doing cold calling, all that. You know what I did? I deleted my whole calendar. I had to, because it was driving me crazy that I couldn't keep up with what it was. So the real estate industry, I actually see houses for sale. I see more signs up. I'm in Amora Hills in Elizabeth, so this area always stays hot here. I see signs going up. I still see buyers wanting to buy. Just like there's sellers and buyers that are afraid, there's still people that want to buy. I say get in where you fit in. Do the best that you can with what you have. Everything in life comes to pass. Nothing stays the same. You just have to know how to handle where you're at right now. This is what we have.
You should put that on a t-shirt, by the way.
What?
Get in where you fit in.
I should.
People are like, what the hell does that mean? You looking to buy a house?
That's right. That's a good idea, man. So that's what that, like, today I called my broker and I said, hey, you're home. Your wife won't let you out. You're bored? He said, yeah. I said, good. You can be my mentor. He's like, what? Yeah. I need a mentor. He's like, mentor you for what? Mentor me for COVID. You're home. I'm home. Let's Zoom. Let's speak. Let's brainstorm. He was like, all right, I'm not doing anything else anyway. His wife is terrified with the whole thing with COVID, so they are on lockdown. So I'm taking advantage. I said, hey, help me. I called her and I said, hey, I need a new business plan. She said, all right. I said, let's work on it. Get in where you fit in. I took all these courses. I'm preparing for who knows what, right? But all we have is right now. So for today, we know exactly where we're standing. We know what buyers you have. Work on those buyers. We know what the interest rates are fluctuating. Work with that. Work with your lenders. I just say make the best of exactly where we're at, because we don't know what's coming.
No.
Everybody has an opinion, right? But all we can do is focus on right now. And tomorrow when we wake up, on tomorrow, day by day, and see what's happening. The market is absolutely not where it used to be. Last year at this time, I was going crazy, showing. Now I am planting. Before my house, my fiance and I decided that he wanted to put stones. And guess what? I was cutting stone with him, drilling into cement wall, enjoying where I'm at right now.
That is sexy as hell. I love that.
Yeah, I'm going to post a picture later. He has pictures of me drilling into the cement wall. And I'm like, he's like, help me. I said, I'll do it. You cut a piece, I'll put it. You go do the other one, you put the piece. And we did it. We did it on our own.
My wife was power washing the other day. I thought it was funny as hell.
That's awesome. I mean, you know what? Those are new things that I'm adding that to my resume. When I have a client that wants to buy a house, I can say, hey, I put my own stone on the house. You can do it. All right? Why not?
I build fucking walls for a living.
Shit.
Yeah, put walls down, Donald.
Nice. I spray painted my stairs black. Spray paint.
You spray painted it?
Beautiful. They look gorgeous.
Really? But what the fucking smell?
Oh, I had a mask on. I had my mask on. I'm used to wearing masks outside. I had my mask and gloves.
How did you? What the hell did you do? You taped off the whole goddamn room?
I used cardboard, and I kind of just sprayed and went and used the cardboard wherever I was spraying on little corners. I would move it around. My fiance was like, "What the hell, Erica? You painted them black?" I'm like, "Yeah, it looks gorgeous."
Does it look gorgeous though?
I love it. Yes, it's different.
Hold on. Did you take a before and after picture?
I have before and after pictures.
You do? Send it to me. I want to see what it looks like.
I'm going to send it right now.
You're too freaking funny.
So you know what I say? Listen, this is where we're at. The market, all I can say is whatever clients you have, work with that. Try to help them through it. What you don't want either is to force a client to buy a house that later on you'll regret it, because you do right by one client, they'll send you referrals. You do wrong by one, the whole world will know you've messed up.
Exactly.
Do the right thing.
Where did you meet your fiance? Because it's funny every time you say it.
That's terrible, man. That's not good for business. But I had just started the real estate industry. We were friends for about 12 years before we even started dating.
Oh, get out of here.
But I met him in real estate. He wanted to buy an investment property. The market had crashed. I showed him a couple of properties and I said, oh, this guy's not buying nothing. I'll keep him as a friend. And that's what it was.
That's awesome.
And years later, I always said I would never date him. He was not my type of guy. And here we are.
Hey, opposites attract, right?
Building walls and shit.
Oh, is that what that's not what he does for a living now?
He's a fireman.
Yeah.
He's a fireman. He's a Newark firefighter. God bless him. He's out there all the time. It's crazy for them out there right now.
Well, you tell them I have a lot of respect and thank you for protecting us.
Oh, definitely. You know, everybody's home burning shit.
Are they really?
Absolutely.
What are they burning?
The most fires he's had in a long time. Kitchen fires. Everybody's home.
The fuck? Oh, they're burning food.
They're burning food. They're burning kitchens, electrical fires.
I'm picturing they're burning their fucking houses down, like they're burning their furniture and shit.
Dude, man, I gotta tell you, illegal apartments, illegal attic and basements are very dangerous. I'll say it really quick, man, if you don't mind. We have our families out there fighting these fires, and they don't know what they're walking into. Landlords, I know that's how you make your extra income, but there's lives being, tampered with. You have people living in these basements and these attics, and the firemen don't know that they're because they're not supposed to be there. They get there to fight fires, and one of his buddies got burnt in an attic apartment that went to flames. So something to consider, please. The attics go up in no time. Basements, there's no exit. It's real out there right now. Everybody's home, so reconsider that.
That's true. Do a lot of takeout.
Yes. Yep. I'm gonna send you this picture, Matt.
Yeah, there's a whole operation we got to go through. I don't know about with you guys, with your family over there. We go to the grocery store. It's like we're fucking hazmat. Shit goes in the kitchen. There's a designated area.
Hell yeah.
The shit gets cleaned down. Then it goes through like a drying process, a decontamination process. I'm like, babe, I just want a fucking Dorito.
Yeah, it's not happening in my house either. We do
you gotta wait.
Yep. The grocery gets on the front, spray the bags down. We have one in the kitchen with gloves, wiping, the other one drying, and then it has to sit out before you put it away. So we have going grocery shopping takes us about 4 to 5 hours. That's our ordeal.
Not even a joke. Grocery shopping, I used to go to the grocery store and I would go, come back. I mean, I like to talk to people in general. So I used to go and, maybe you should take a half hour, come back in an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Now you go, it takes you like fucking 2 hours. You get home and it's another hour.
How about this shit? When you're in the supermarket, you don't know if they're smiling, grinning at you. You don't know who's behind the mask. And I'm a talker too, Matt. So I'm like, I can't even talk to this person because I don't even know if they're smiling at me or not. So it's like, all you see is this.
Right. That's bad. You don't know if the person's a pervert or not.
Hell no. You don't even know what is going on.
Right. It's like,
and everybody's like crossing the street. When I walk my dog, people usually cross the street when they see him. He's a big boy. Now I'm crossing the street when I see somebody coming without a mask. I'm like, whoop, let me cross the street.
Listen, the one thing that happened when this whole thing started, it used to drive me nuts. They're like, wash your hands. And I know like I'm not a huge TikTok fan, but,
oh my God.
But I got sucked into it and I watched some of this stuff and I'm dying.
All my stuff on TikTok.
Wash your hands. I'm spraying. I'm praying. I'm praying. But I wash it. And I said to my wife, I said, you know what's really disturbing? You go to these supermarkets, they're wearing masks, and you could tell they're like all like, masked up and they got the gloves and shit. Take a goddamn shower. Nobody's taking showers.
Disgusting.
It's so gross. It's so gross. What's that?
I have the Lysol bottle right by the door.
I'm just saying, it's so gross that they go out in public and, my wife's like, oh, you want to go with me to the grocery store? I'm like, hell no, I don't want to go to the grocery store with you. It's gross.
They're in their pajamas, right?
Pajama. I've seen, forget it. Outfits are crazy as hell. But you know what? It is what it is. If you said to me real quick what day it is, I would have been like, Wednesday.
I don't know the day either.
It's Tuesday.
Last week, I forgot. I kept messing up the garbage. If my fiance's in the firehouse, I got to take it out. And he's like, shit, why'd you take the garbage out? Today's like Monday and it's Thursday garbage day. I was like, shit, what day is it? It feels like every day.
Exactly. But this is a great time for people to really genuinely, reinvent themselves.
Yes.
Read a book, write a book. I mean, I don't really read, but
spend time with your children.
Spend time. Yeah, I was gonna get to it.
Oh, sorry.
Do home improvement projects, whatever. Yeah. Get your kids more involved in doing stuff. Spend more time with the family. I mean, we got tricked a little bit. It was really nice Saturday and Sunday, and it got cold again. I'm like, this is ridiculous. But it is what it is. Do you have anything you want to add to anybody? And you know what? I got your phone number on the bottom of the screen. I got your hashtags. If somebody wants to reach out, say, Erica, look, I want to get into real estate, or I'm curious. You said you had 3 kids, whatever. Can you give me any advice? Do you have a problem if somebody reaches out to you?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Anybody that has any questions, whether it be real estate or being a single mom or anything, I'm open. I'm home. I'm open to Zoom. I'm open to FaceTime. All I can say is I hear a lot of women are going through depressions right now.
Huge.
And, believe it or not, right? Miss Tough Ass over here, I found myself falling into that. I'm fighting with everybody. I'm fighting with my man when he gets home. I'm like, take off your clothes outside. He's like, are you freaking kidding me? I'm going bananas. I'm like, my business is, and I found myself falling into that rut. You cannot, when you feel like you're depressed, don't say it. Say, I'm happy. I am great. I am blessed. You have to speak
call
it into
call a friend.
Call a friend. Drink a bottle of wine. I don't know, but this is going to pass. This is all temporary.
That's allegedly, and you have to be at least 21 years of age to drink that.
Yes, absolutely. But try to find something new to do. Like I said, I took all kinds of classes. I started fixing things in my house because I was going bananas. But I told Matt, I'm back on my grind. I'm making my calls because, like I tell them, I have a team of girls that I love. And I tell them, I want you guys to learn as much as you can right now. I'm multitasking. Hold on.
Well, we're gonna be doing a coaching call, right, between you and your girls.
Yeah, let's do it. You're gonna love them. So I tell them, learn as much as you can, call as many people as you can. It's like when you're in a race, right? And there's the little band, and they say, ready, set, go. When that shit comes off, I want you to go running and be ready for it. So don't worry about what you're doing right now. Prepare yourself for what's coming. Learn more about yourself.
100%, 100%. Listen, I loved having you on today.
Thank you, Matt. I'm going to send you all my short sales. I will never want to take another copy of anybody's documents again.
Oh, I love that. I appreciate that. So let me ask you a question. At the end of every single live, I ask people to do the point. So I'm going to ask you, can you do the point?
The what?
No.
Wait, where's my...
All right, it's close enough.
No, it's not. Do it again. I gotta do like you.
Well, first of all, you won't do it on me. You gotta go like that. You gotta do the lean. No, you gotta bring it up. I'm gonna give you. Listen, I'm gonna give you a 6.5. We're gonna work on it.
We'll practice it.
We're gonna practice it. Listen. Yes. I appreciate taking the time out during the day. Guys, Eric Perez, you can reach out to her. Her phone number is 908-368-7764. You can hashtag the shit out of her. Hashtag closing expert NJ. Hashtag real estate classy. Yeah. Thanks so much for being on. I really appreciate it.
Matt, it was awesome.
All right, sweetie.
Happy whatever day it is.
Yeah, exactly. Hold on one sec. Don't go anywhere.
All right.